Hey guys, it's Rachel from Dig Deep here. So today I'm going to do a packing video to show you what I'm going to be taking on my challenge this summer, just so that you can get an idea of what kind of kit is good for the mountain. So I've got our equipment list here. So this is the Kilimanjaro one, but this is also suitable for our Mount Kenya challenges. So I'm just going to go through that, show you some examples of kit, so that you have some assistance when packing your bags. First off, I just wanted to show you the type of bag that I'm taking on the mountain. So this is a duffel bag, hold-all. It's one of the North Face ones, I don't know if you know what that is. It's about 80 to 90 litres. It's the biggest size that you'll need, and it's nice and waterproof as well, so it's pretty handy for taking on the mountain. It can be roughed around all over the place. You do need to make sure you've either got a duffel bag like this one that's squishy, or like a rucksack that you take if you're on daily or travelling or camping, things like that. Not a suitcase. The porters are going to be carrying these bags on top of their day rucksacks as well, so they'll put them into a big green waterproof bag, so they do need to be nice and soft, so no hard suitcases or no bags with any like solid sides. So that is my duffel bag that we're going to be putting everything into. In terms of my day sack, this is the day sack that I'm going to be taking. So this is about 35 to 40 litres, nice and comfortable, you can see here. And it's also got waist straps to go around like this that you can tighten, which is really good because that puts the weight onto your hips, and a chest strap as well, which is again really helpful. And here is a little area where you can put the tube through from your camelback so that you've always got drink handy, which I'll show you later as well. So those are the two bags that you need and that we're going to be kind of going through. You are going to need a waterproof cover for your bag as well. So for instance, this is one that will go on the day sack. So as you can see, you essentially just take the bag and then you take the cover and then you just pop it over. So it means that if it does rain, then none of your stuff is going to get wet, which is really important because if your stuff gets wet on the mountain, it's going to be really difficult for you to get it dry. So do make sure you've got a waterproof cover for both of your bags, or that your main kit bag is fully waterproofed. Okay, so in terms of stuff that is going to go into the bag, I'm going to start with your kind of sleeping arrangements. So you will be provided with a sleeping mat whilst you're on Kilimanjaro, but if you like a bit of extra comfort like me, then you are welcome to bring your own mat. So this is actually a self-inflating mat, so it rolls up into this bag. I'll just show you a little bit what it looks like, and then it comes out just like this, and you can see here it's got a little inflating toggle, so you just undo that and it would inflate itself, and then you can tighten it off. Just means that you've got a little bit of extra insulation and padding whilst you're on the mountain, but you don't need to have a fancy one like that. You can use just a normal bog standard roll mat that you can get from any kind of camping shop, and attach that to the outside of your bag. But as I said, that's only if you want additional comfort, so there will be roll mats provided, so you don't actually need to worry about that. Cool. So the next thing that you're going to need is your sleeping bag. This needs to be at least 3 seasons, recommend 4 seasons, as it is going to be cold during the night time. So do make sure that you've got a really nice cozy sleeping bag. This doesn't actually need to go inside your bag, it can be fitted on the outside, but whilst you're on the mountain. But obviously for getting it out to Tanzania or Kenya, you are going to need to be able to fit it inside your bag. So make sure it's nice and squishy. Often you can kind of compact them down like so, and then just pop it in like that. But yeah, do make sure it's 3 to 4 seasons so you can stay nice and snug. In addition to that, your kit list says that you could have a sleeping bag liner. This is something that I normally take with me as well. You can either get microfiber ones or you can get like a silk one. That's just an extra layer that goes inside your sleeping bag so that you can stay nice and toasty. So if you do feel the cold, I would recommend getting one of those. You can pick them up from any kind of outdoors or hiking stores. Okay, so that's all of kind of sleeping kits. So now I'm going to get cracking talking about clothing. So first of all, we've got kind of your outer layers as such. So your waterproof jacket. This is probably the most important thing that you're going to have on the mountains. Obviously, if it does rain, you really don't want to be caught short. So do make sure you have got a nice, good quality waterproof jacket. So this is my one. It's waterproof and windproof. Windproof is also really important because if the wind chill is coming through, this is going to keep you nice and warm. So this is only from Mountain Warehouse. To It's a really great jacket, so do make sure that you've got a nice waterproof there, not just like a cagoule. It is good to have a nice proper one. So that's first up. And then you can also have a insulated jacket. So this is the one that I'm going to be taking. So this is a down jacket, so this actually can't get wet, but you can get synthetic ones that are a lot smaller. I'm a very cold person, so I like to have lots of layers. So I would normally wear this jacket, and then I'd put my waterproof jacket over the top as well, and I'd have layers underneath. The most important thing is making sure that you have got room to have lots of layers. So as you can see from that, that's a little bit big for me, but that's so that I can wear some fleecy layers underneath so that I can stay nice and warm. But as I said, you don't need to have like a super technical one of these. You can have a much thinner one, like a synthetic one that you can pick up from shops or borrow from friends. So you can have that underneath your nice waterproof jacket. And then next on the list is a soft shell jacket, similar to a fleece. So for instance, something like this one. So you can see this is just a typical fleece. This actually zips into the inside of my waterproof jacket. It came with the jacket, which is really handy. So this is a good layer that you can have, that you can put on top of all of your other layers. So I'd recommend having a couple of those in your bag as well. So if we put that in, hopefully everything's going to fit. Okay, so then kind of next up we've got some long sleeve tops. As I said, layers are really important. I would take another little fleece like this just because I said I am a really cold person. So do just make sure you've got the options. So I would put this then under the soft shell jacket as well. This is just a really light kind of long sleeve fleece top. So that's one of the long sleeve tops that I'm going to be taking. But then in terms of the actual base layers, I'm going to be taking stuff like this, which is just like a moisture wicking, it says here, technical base layer. So it's just a long sleeve top like that. You know, you've seen sports tops before. So I've got a couple of those, that one, and then I've got another one here. So we need a couple of those ones. And then you're also going to need some short sleeve tops. So I've just got like my old running tops. This is from when I did the London Marathon. Put a little sort of blag in there. So just any old running tops. This is another one, like anything that you take to the gym, they'll be absolutely fine. It is important that they are moisture wicking, so they'll just dry really quickly, as obviously if you do get sweaty, which you will, then you don't want to be kind of stuck in a like horrible cotton t-shirt. So do just make sure you've got nice, lightweight, quick drying and moisture wicking tops, so any sort of sporty tops that you normally use. Okay, and then next we've got kind of our base layers. So waterproof trousers, these are 100% essential. Again, if you get caught in the rain, you do not want your legs to be getting wet or your kids to be getting wet. So these are actually my dad's trousers, so they're quite big, but you can just borrow them. I think he wears these for golf. So I've just stolen these. They're really good. I quite like them being big because it means that I can pull them all the way up to like right into my waist. So they're nice and comfy, and they easily slot over my boots as well. So it means I can have them in my rucksack. If the rain starts to come down, I'll just quickly whip them out, throw them on over my walking boots. I don't have to take anything off. So do make sure you've got a good pair of those. They're also a really excellent extra layer to have on summit night. I wore those on top of my other trousers on summit night because I get cold, as I said. Then you're going to need your hiking trousers. So these are some lovely, nice and attractive hiking trousers. They actually zip off at the knee, so you've got shorts in them as well. So do recommend those. They're really good. From the first day you can start off wearing shorts, and then by the end you can have full length trousers. So again, you can get those from any old shop. I actually borrowed these off my boyfriend, so again, ask around, see if you can borrow them from anyone. I'm also going to be taking some just like gym leggings because they're really comfortable, so I don't know if you want to include something like that. Things that you feel comfortable walking in. These are nice and thick as well, so they'll keep you nice and warm, and it's good because you could wear those as an extra layer under your hiking trousers if you're starting to feel the cold as well. Okay, and then in terms of kind of, it says on here you might need some like fleece thermal trousers. I don't have fleecy ones, I just take these, which are skiing or winter thermals. I've had them for years. They're really handy. I've got a couple of sets of these. One I wear as a set of pyjamas whilst I'm on the mountain to keep me nice and warm, and then the other I just layer them under my clothes. So there's the long johns there, and then we've got the tops as well. It's just a long sleeve thermal top. So I do recommend that you have some of those. That kind of falls into the long underwear section that you'll find on your equipment list, as that's just basically thermal underwear. In terms of actual underwear, obviously I'm not going to wave underwear in front of you on the camera, but you can just wear normal underwear. Make sure it's nice and comfortable and you're used to wearing it, so that obviously you don't have to worry about that. And then girls, you might want to think about a sports bra as well. Just again, nice and easy to keep on, and again, good for absorbing sweat and things like that. So just make sure your underwear is really comfortable. Okay, so next you've got headwear. It is, although it's going to be cold, it is going to be sunny on Killy, so you do need to make sure you've got a nice brimmed hat. As you can see, this is my Kilimanjaro hat. If you are sensitive to the sun, which all of you will be, because the sun is very strong on Killy, it is probably worth getting one of those kind of ones that's got a brim all the way around, so it protects the back of your neck as well. So throw a cap in, or see if you can get a brimmed hat, or you can buy them in out there as well. Then you're going to need a nice woolly hat for warmth, again, looking really cool. So any kind of bobble hat, this is just one I have in the cupboard, nice and thick, nice and warm, just stick one of those in. And then definitely, although it says optional on the kit list, we do highly recommend that you have a bandana, buff, balaclava type thing, so that you can cover your face. Again, if it's windy, which it can be, this is really good for making sure that the wind chill stays off your face and you stay nice and warm, and also it keeps the sun off you, so you can pull that up however you want to do it. Again, this is just something I borrowed off a friend, so do make sure that you have one of those. They're really handy, and it's a good way to keep dust out of your mouth as well. Okay, then in terms of handwear, you're going to need a nice thick pair of gloves. I've got mittens because they keep your fingers all together. These are just ones that I use for winter sports, so just have some of those, borrow them from a friend if you've got them. And then in terms of liners, you can just use, you know, your normal kind of woolly gloves, or you can get some liners if you want to. Just something that's still making sure that it does actually fit inside your other glove as well, so that you can wear them together. With these ones, I did take these on Killy last time and then I got them quite wet, so if you are looking to buy a new pair of these, maybe don't buy woolly ones, try and buy some synthetic quick drying material, or if you are going to bring woolly ones, bring a couple, so that you've got a backup pair in case they do get wet, because I remember having really cold fingers. So that's all of the things you need for your hands. And then footwear, the most important thing that you'll have on the mountain. These are my trusty walking boots. They've got me up Kilimanjaro, they've got me up Mount Kenyon, they got me through my gold DOV, took me around South America, like, they're amazing. These are obviously really well worn in, I've had them for about 10 years, but do make sure that you are wearing your boots in. If your boots are looking like they might be a bit old, like mine are, consider going and getting some new ones. You don't want your boots to give up on you whilst you're halfway up Killy. Obviously this is an amazing challenge, so make sure that they're all nice and watertight. Any leakage problems, go and get them fixed beforehand. And then if you do get new boots, wear them every day up until the climb so that they are nice and worn in, because you do not want to get blisters on the climb. I'm not going to put those in my bag because I'm going to be wearing those on the plane, like all of you are, because if your bag happens to be a little bit late, you do not want to be without your walking boots. Everything else is replaceable, hireable, or we'll be able to find it for you. So just make sure that you have these on the plane with you. The other thing you might need is some camp shoes. Now I've got Crocs, I know they're really cool, don't judge me, but these are so easy to just wear at the end of the day when you want to take your walking boots off, but you obviously still want to keep some shoes on. So chuck a pair of camp shoes in. It can be Crocs, flip-flops, plimsolls, whatever you want, just follow them into your bag. And the other thing that you're going to need are some hiking socks. So you want a few pairs of these. I'd recommend getting different thicknesses, some thinner ones, so they're not as warm for the first few days, obviously still nice and comfortable, and then some thicker ones for the last few days, and a really thick pair for the climb. These are my like double layered ones, so they're nice and warm for the summit nights. Obviously if your toes get cold, that's pretty horrible, so make sure you have got nice socks, and you probably want a fresh pair for every day as well. You can choose to get sock liners as well, but do make sure that you have tested those out before you do your challenge, as obviously having a sock liner and then a sock and then your boot can cause friction, which could cause extra blisters. Works for some people, doesn't work for others, so just make sure you test out the combinations that you have and don't try anything new on the day of the climb. Okay, and so the other thing that you're going to need, these do say that they're optional, but I would recommend them, are gaiters. So these are essential for Mount Kenya, as you are going to be tackling a bog whilst you're out there, so you do want to make sure your boots stay nice and dry. And they're good for killing, for keeping the stones out of your boots. So if you haven't seen them before, this is a gaiter. Essentially what it does is it hooks onto your walking boot like so, and then it goes over the top. Normally put them on before you put your boots on. It keeps the water out like so, and then you can just tighten it around the top like that. It just means that your boots will stay nice and dry, your socks are going to stay dry, so are your feet, and then no like pesky stones are going to get in there. So I would recommend getting a pair of those. For killie, you can also hide them out there if you want to. So next up, we've got your climb accessories. Now this isn't my top tips on how to look nice on Kilimanjaro, it's how to make sure that you are very well prepared. So first up, you're going to need some sunglasses or goggles. Now these you need to make sure these have got really high SPF protection. So these are my super trendy cycling glasses. They look really cool, but they are really good and high protection. So do make sure that you've got a proper pair of sunglasses. They don't need to be really expensive, they just need to have the right protection. So don't just get a really cheap pair that you bought from a festival or something like that. You can also take a poncho, which is something that will just throw over your whole body in your rucksack if the rain does come down as well, so that's an optional thing that you could choose to take. Now water bottles are essential. So this is a Hygiene bottle. Hygiene is a really good material because basically it can withstand really high and really low temperatures, so it'll make sure that your water stays liquid. So do make sure that you've got a good quality Hygiene bottle. Don't just take like a freebie bottle that you've got from somewhere else. You also can't take any disposable bottles on the mountain, they're prohibited on Kilimanjaro and Mount Kenya, so make sure you've got bottles like this. This is a 1 litre bottle, so I'd recommend that you have 1 or 2 of these so you can just put in the outside of your rucksack. The other thing that is my absolute favourite item that I get really excited to use is a camelback. Now this is a 2 litre camelback. This is where you have 2 litres of water and it just goes inside your day sack and then sits on your back, and then the hose comes over like that and you've got access to water all the time. So this is essential for basically keeping you really hydrated on the mountain. You don't need to use a specific camelback one. There are lots of different brands, but I would say that the more expensive ones do tend to be more effective. Like this one I've had for a good few years now and used on a number of different climbs and it hasn't broken. The worst thing that you want is a leaking camelback. I have had that before when I bought just an own brand one and then decided to invest in this, because obviously then your whole bag gets wet, your back gets wet, and it's really horrible and you don't have something to drink out of. So I would recommend getting one of these and spending a little bit more money on it if you can, or see if you've got a family member that you can borrow one from. In terms of other equipment that you might need, I highly recommend my trusty walking poles. Now these are amazing if you're like me and you have dodgy knees. These are basically an extra pair of legs, but I would recommend that you get yourself some of these. They clip onto the back of your rucksack at this height and then you can just extend them out like so to every different height and adjust them, and then you can just twist them up and put them back down. So I would recommend taking these even if you're not sure you want to use them, because you never know, especially when you're going downhill. These are so handy to stabilise yourself. So I highly recommend getting those, again available from any outdoor shop. The other thing that is really important that you're going to need is your head torch. Super handy, super cool as always, just goes on your head like that, and then normally they have lots of different settings. Red flashing is probably not that helpful, but you are really going to need one of these for navigating your way to the toilet in the middle of the night, for summit night itself when you're going to be going up in darkness. Do make sure you've got one of these, if not 2, and you also have some spare batteries as well, because if your batteries die it's going to be pretty dark, so make sure you've got a headlamp. So personal health and hygiene, and whilst you're on the mountain, obviously it's going to be fairly limited, but you can still keep yourself clean. So just take a little wash bag with all your bits and bobs in, so things like your toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, all that kind of stuff. The other important things are sun cream. This is a must. It's going to be very strong sun up there, even if it feels cold. You will get sunburned if you don't protect yourself. So make sure you've got factor 30 or 50 plus, probably better, and make sure it's like a long protection one, so this is 8-hour protect. So make sure you've got some of that. You might want some insect repellent for the first few days on the mountain when you're in the rainforesty areas, as there will still be some mosquitoes around. So you could just take a smaller one and then have a larger one for your after travel when you're off the mountain as well. But do bring some of that and make sure it's got a high content of DEET, so it's normally 50%. Make sure it's got good protection against mosquitoes. Essential item is your hand sanitizing gel. So I normally get a big one like this with a push thing, and then I just put it in the side of my day sack like that. So if I ever need to wash my hands, I can just do that, or if I've come back from going to the loo behind a rock or something. It's also a good way to cleanse your camelback straw when you accidentally drop it in dirt. So that's very handy, so make sure you've got lots of that on you as well. In terms of kind of personal medication and stuff like that, do make sure you have all of that on your person. I'm an asthmatic, so I've got my inhalers, and I put them in my day sack so they're always accessible, and let somebody else know where they are as well. So any other personal medication like your malaria tablets, prescription medication that you normally take, make sure you've got that on you and it stays in your day sack. Also, a good thing to take with you is a handy first aid kit. Put things in there like plasters, bandages, paracetamol, ibuprofen, diorolite, so rehydration sachets, and Imodium diarrhea tablets. They're all going to be things that you want to have to hand. If you get a funny tummy, which you might well do, you just want to be able to take those. Obviously, you should still notify your guides, but that's something that you just want to deal with quickly. So have those things, and again, put that in your day sack. So I'll leave that to one. The other things you're going to need to take are some loo rolls, some wet wipes for wet wipe showers. You might want to take a little bar of soap and a kind of microfiber towel like this one. Nice quick drying, just folds up into this bag, so that if you want to use the hot water available to you to have a wash, you can do that. And also you do need to think about any sanitary products that you might need. Even if you're not expected to be on your period, do take some emergency sanitary products, as the altitude can mess with your cycle and you don't want to be caught out, so make sure you've got some of those in your bag just in case. And then kind of finally, some bits that you might want are some snacks. So I take some protein bars like this is a Cliff bar, or some kind of energy gel cubes. Don't taste particularly nice but good for boosts of energy, or any sort of gels and things like that. So do make sure that you've got a few of those available to you. Or a Trek bar. Also make sure you've got some nice snacks like some sweeties or some savoury things like mini cheddars, things like that, so that you do have snacks available to you the whole time. You will be fed really well on the mountain, but obviously whilst you're hiking it is good to be able to have extra energy boost, especially on summit night. And save your favourite ones for summit night as well. Maybe not these ones. And then other things you want to think about are some stuff sacks. So these are really handy. Basically you can put all your kit in them, just close them off at the top with this little bit here and roll it over and clip them. It means that they stay nice and waterproof, and also you can like compact them down so you can make it all vacuum packed. Top tip is pack your day's outfits into things like this, so like day 1, day 2, day 3 have different ones so that you don't have to think about it when you get to camp. You're going to be tired, so don't make your packing complicated or messy, make it nice and easy. You can get different sizes, so there's small ones, I've got a ginormous one as well which you might not need, and then put your clothes inside those. And then in terms of electrical things, you might want something like a power bank like this one, so that you can charge up your phone, your camera, anything like that. So if you make sure that's fully charged. And also do recommend that you take something like a disposable camera whilst you're out there, because your batteries aren't going to last the same amount of time as normal because it is very cold. So you need to keep them warm, number one, to keep them on your person, keep them wrapped up in the bottom of your day sack. But then also take a disposable camera as a backup just in case you can't get that summit photo because all of your technology has died on you. Okay, so I think that is pretty much everything that you need to have in your bag. Obviously make sure you've got all of the essentials, and then if there's extra things that you can fit in, then you can go for it. It's up to you and your personal experience. But do make sure that your bag is nice and easy to close. You don't want to have to be like jumping around on it every night. So make sure it's just like simple, because you're going to be tired. You're going to be able to want to just get your stuff out, get your PJs out, throw your layers on, and then close your bag off nice and easy. And it's going to get harder to pack because you're going to get more tired and it's going to get messier. So just make sure you don't overfill your bag so that you can close it off nice and easily. But I hope that was helpful. That's what I'm going to be packing this summer. If you do have any questions, just get in touch with one of the team and make sure you download the kit list from the pre-departure information. But thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.